Before I start this video, I wanted to let you guys know that this is from my experience of fighting each class, so it may be different for you guys. And also, I know my microphone quality is quite poor, but I won't be able to get a new microphone for quite a while. Anyways, hope you still enjoy the video. So as many of you should probably know, there are 9 classes in TF2. The Scout, Soldier, Pyro, Demo, Heavy, NG, Medic, Sniper, and Mr. Paladin. And as a spy, you usually end up having to fight each of these classes at some point. And you're probably wondering, Goldin Gamer God, how do I fight all these pathetic classes as the pro spyman class? Well, in this video, I'll be going over how to fight against every single one of them. First, we'll start off with the Scout. Now, usually, when a Scout finds you out, they strafe left and right of you and shoot you like you've got some sort of disease. Anyways, to fight against Pink and Green Autism Man, your best bet is to try to juke him out. Let's say, for example, he spots you and you're a few feet away from his line of sight. If he's at full health, your best bet to surviving against him is to cloak in one direction and go another direction, basically breaking his ankles and getting away safely.
How? Unbelievable!
If he continues to find you out, keep on psyching him out until he actually believes you went a different direction and make your escape. But what if he's at low health? This is your chance. Pull out your gun and finish him off. Or, you know, scare him with your imaginary aiming skills. Then he'll attempt to either run away or fight back until either one of you dies. That's usually the best way to fight off a Scout. But what if he doesn't notice you and you're right behind him and it seems a little hard to backstab him? Every Scout always backs up when they're fighting something in front of them. If you wait just a little bit, the Scout will basically back up into your knife and you can get an easy pick. But what if the Scout never backs up? Well, why are you trying to backstab a Scout anyways? There's better classes to pick. Next up, we have Soldier. Now, how do we fight against this odd Buzz Lightyear fellow, you may be wondering? Simple.
Holy fuck, run for your goddamn life. If this dude shoots the floor once, everything fucking dies. Please, sir, God help.
No, but seriously, the only way you'd ever escape the Soldier is by undisguising and surfing one of his rockets while invisible, or pull your gun out and try to dodge his rockets. This is one of the few classes that can easily kick your ass, so try not to get spotted by him. If he isn't facing you, try to make sure he isn't about to rocket jump before you go in for a stab. If he rocket jumps, you basically lose all your health or straight up die. Soldiers always need to focus when fighting somebody, but if you fail a stab, he's gonna turn his attention away from whatever he was fighting and beat you up first. Also, don't try to go for one of those epic rocket surf stabs. Usually they're not worth it, especially if you don't know how to do them very well. If he's low on health, it's always best to keep a distance and just shoot him to death instead of trying to get a stab. If he's full on health and he spots you, it's best to just cloak away and act like you've never seen him before.
Somebody in here? Something wrong? Nope.
Don't try to go in for a stab on him after like a minute of him spotting you. If he's trying to bomb you with rockets or trying to get a market garden off, you can always try to get under him at the right time and pull off an understab on him. It works sometimes, but a competent soldier usually prevents it from happening. Oh boy, the rubber fetish fuel. This is another class that can easily kick your ass. He's essentially your counter in every way. The best thing you could do to fight against a Pyro is to keep a large enough distance to ensure he doesn't light you on fire and are safe enough to pull your gun out and shoot him to death. This usually scares the Pyro and they end up running away. If you get too close, you're probably going to die, so the best thing you could do is try to outrun him and stop burning. But even then, there's really no chance. You shouldn't even be near the Pyro or Pyros in the first place. If you're close and he's hurt, you can easily take him down if you're calm enough to hit your shots and not mess up. You could also, dare I even say it, trick stab the Pyro if the Pyro isn't competent enough to know you could easily go for one. It works sometimes, but not all the time. It's best not to do it unless you really know what you're doing. Another easy counter, as I mentioned in my last video, is the Spy-Cicle and Revolver combo. It's very good against Pyros since it gives you time to aim and shoot them down. Next up, we have Wazowski. Oh, sorry, I meant Demo Man. Demos are a mix between easy to kill and hard to kill. Some demos, when they don't notice you, never even turn around because they're too focused on arcing their pills and pipes to care about you, so it's usually an easy kill. But when they notice you, get ready to cloak away and undisguise to surf their stickies. But if they don't try to spam stickies at you, it's easier to dodge their pills. Strafing left and right really confuses them for some reason, and they usually never hit their pipes. It's almost like the actual person playing is drunk. Now, if it's a demo night, you have to try your best not to be seen by this head-taking monster. It's not easy killing demo knights, not even with a trick stab. When you get hit once, it's basically game over. The best you could do is cloak away or shoot at him to scare him. Even if they're not facing you, you should be cautious because they can easily turn around and knock you out. You can also psych them out with your cloak so they waste their charge as well. Now let's talk about everyone's favorite, the Fat Man.
No!
This is the class I usually fear the most fighting against. If he slightly turns, you're basically dead because they turn on a dime and annihilate you within seconds. Good heavy mains always turn around every couple of seconds, but if you can see their pattern, you can go in for a stab at the right second and shut him down. I find it more effective to do a drop stab on them because heavies never usually look up all that often. Just make sure you time the stab right to their turnaround pattern. If they start spy checking you, you can either act your disguise out until they stop shooting you, which sometimes works but not usually, or cloak away. Usually heavies track cloaked spies easily, so you're gonna have to try to dance your way out of his bullets to get away safely. This is usually a hard task for most spies, but unless you're near some props or walls, it should be easy to pull off. Also, let's say you see a heavy eating his sandwich. If his back is slightly exposed on either side, it should be an easy stab. If he's in a corner, you can jump on top of his head and try to backstab him from a certain angle, but it's really hard and very risky. Sometimes standing on one side of him and then quickly going to the opposite direction as he goes to look at you works too. You guys have seen my frag movie before, right? The wrench critting madman. Man, sometimes this class is just hard to fight against just for the sole reason that their wrench crits 100% of the time when I fight against them. What I tend to do is stab and then sap because they don't instantly turn around and slap my face to death. Sapping and shooting their gun also freaks them out, so that can also work too. However, in competitive, it's best to tell your team you can go in for a sap and tell them when they want you to sap it so they can time a uber/push onto it. This is very effective as the engineer dies most of the time to this. If you've got teammates or friends in a pub, this works just as well. If the NG's on Gunslinger, go for him first, then sap his stuff, just because the mini doesn't do all that much. But if it's crippling your team, you'd better just sap it to help them out. Don't just let it stay up and hurt your team. Also, if they have a telly up, sap and shoot it at the same time just so they can't spam their wrench on it. It's pretty effective. Dispensers are your friends. Try not to sap them right away, especially when the NG's dead. I only use it to refill my cloak and health, and then just go in for the sap just so the NG can't refill his own health and ammo. Keeping down all forms of NG building usually pisses them off, so just continue to do it until he's ineffective and useless to his team. This is my favorite class to pick off just because everyone freaks out and instantly drops me dead in competitive. Yes, Hitler's brother, the medic. Medics are always turning around just to see if they're about to be threatened by a spy such as yourself. This is essentially the same thing as the heavy. They turn around every so often, but there's no real pattern, so you just gotta hope they don't turn around as soon as you go in for the stab. Another thing to note, medics have weird movement. Like they don't know where they want to go and just press their movement keys because it's fun or something. It always catches me off guard and sometimes costs me a key pick. If the medic challenges you to a melee battle, never accept. Just because in pubs they crit every time, and in competitive, you're basically giving the medic free Uber from his Uber saw. Never do that. If you are cornered or about to die to the medic's Uber saw or get hit by it, hit your killbind. I know it sounds weird, but giving the medic any form of Uber in competitive is not good for your team, and will put you at a disadvantage. Even if you cloak, they still get Uber. That's why it's best to just press your killbind. Don't always go for the medic just because they always have people protecting him at all times. Go at times where the enemy wouldn't expect it or when the medic has full Uber. Always call out the medic is full on Uber just by hovering your mouse over him and checking his Uber percentage. Probably a mix of easy and hard to kill as well depending on the player. The human aimbot. This one is weird but simple too, but most of the time the sniper is wearing a razorback so they can't get killed so easily, so you'd pull out your gun, right? Well, oddly enough, if the sniper has a quick reaction time, he can easily snipe you and cost you another important pick. The best thing to do is keep a distance, but not too far, just enough to get max revolver damage, and shoot him 3 times in a row. Sounds easy, but usually after the second shot they unscope and try to look for you to get a quick headshot on you. Strafing left and right, jumping and crouching usually makes it impossible to land a headshot for them. That or just 2-shot him with the ambi. They never act quick enough with that. It's even easier when they don't wear a razorback, but there is one small thing you have to watch for. If they just shot, wait for them to scope back in. They usually do this weird left and right movement or even back up when they unscope. Also, keep out of sight when they do this just so they can instantly go back to trying to go for kills. This always works for me and usually gets me the sniper pick. Now, the one you've all might have not been waiting for, the worst class in the game. Spy. The only thing you should be doing against a spy is shooting him or backstabbing him when they're not looking. Although picking the spy is pretty good, it's not really your job to do so. You can easily be taken out after going for a spy pick, and it's not really worth it. Never accept a knife fight with a spy because 9 times out of 10, you'll get trick stabbed or poked to death. Only use your knife if you know he's low on health and can easily get butter knifed. If you see a spy behind your team, call him out for your team so they can turn around and avoid dying. They're usually always thankful for calling them out, but anyways, to put fighting spy in short, just use your gun. Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope this helps you out when trying to play spy in competitive or in pubs. If you've got any further questions, let me know in the comments and I'll try my best to answer them. Another thing, thanks to all of you for getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I love every single one of you and all the support you're giving me. Thank you so much. It means a lot. Also, if you guys want to get to know me and have a conversation with me about things, I do have a Discord. I always talk to everyone there and answer every question. I also hang out in voice if you want to talk with me or play games too. Also, a special shout out to Totally a Dolphin and Robotic T for making these amazing pictures of my new mascot. If you want to check them out, their pages are in the description. Thank you so much. And once again, thank you guys for the fan art. They're all absolutely amazing and beautiful. Keep up the good work. Anyways, see you later. Bye.
That's your favorite. Me and 20 girls doing you the